Well, good afternoon. It's afternoon here today. I'd like to welcome you all to another episode of my backstep. It's relatively sunny, but it is a bit chilly. Zip up a little bit. My shovel. My shovel is buried. My tarp's a little saggy. We've had some snow. And we've had some snow melt. So, got a little work to do before I get ready. So yeah, let's get to it. Snow is really sticky. As you can see, it's very, very loose. I'll fix that right quick. That hitch is good and it works good, but it loosens up really easy. I can't complain too much because it's been holding up pretty good since I've been out here. I'll adjust this a bit, I think. Might be okay. It's okay for today. But yeah, okay. Looks a bit better. A bit better. Like I said, I got plans to get a bigger, better tarp to put over the top of that. Then I'm going to take that blue one, put it down where the garbage bag is, which right now needs to be tied down because that's blowing in the wind. But let's get my bag hung up. Hang it up high. Here. Perfect. Let's get my fire pit put back out. Like I said before, I thought it might have... There was a chance I was going to leave it outside, but in looking at it and in knowing how well it's been doing for me, I decided against leaving it outside just because I know it'll rust up and I'd rather keep it. So anyway, let's get this garbage bag fixed down a little bit. I think I'm just going to tie it. I need to get I made a new sit pad kind of jumping around all over the place now, but I've made a new sit pad and it's doubled, so I can unfold it or fold it up depending on where I need it for. Again, all I did was take a piece of wood and pop it onto the garbage bag for now. See that okay? Yeah. Now I got my seat back. Something on the lens, hang on now. There we go, that's a bit better. One thing I did just realize, the battery on this camera is not fully charged. That's okay, I got a couple of backups. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my backup batteries and put them down in one of my pockets to keep them warm, because I've been noticing big time that these batteries really don't like the cold. I've also bring out a little something I mentioned it one time before in my videos, was my little knife to go with my big one. Let me show you those right now. So they both have the same kind of case. They both have the same blade. They both have the same handles. One has a fuller, the other does not. Obviously the big one has the fuller, and the little one does not. Bought these on Amazon. I buy most of my stuff off of Amazon. But I find this little one is really good when you're doing shavings and curls and all that fun stuff. So the little one is what I'm going to be using today. So I put my big one back in. And also, what I have is this little cheapy thing that I bought in a dollar store. Now I have used these before, and they do actually work, but they take a bit of work to get going. And it would have been better if it's summertime to do this and a lot less wind, because the little bit of wind is bad for them. But we'll see. This is what I'm going to try to light my fire with. So right now, I am going to start getting, well no, that's after. Right now, I'm going to clean these up a bit with my axe. And I'm going to make a bipod. I don't have three, so it's going to be a bipod. But yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about. Got my gloves, my work gloves, axe, Now, you don't ever want to cut above your hand like this, because if this swings through and hits your hand, you could be in a whole world of trouble. I know it's just a lot of common sense, but I've seen people do stuff like this. And it literally makes me cringe. See that okay? This one is much shorter than this one, so mark this. I didn't bring my saw out. No, I did bring my saw out. Now I'm lying to you. So saw comes out. Well, just had my first full battery die on me. I'm usually more diligent than that. I usually don't let them die. But hey, you're in the middle of doing stuff, sometimes you can't help that. So I got my two poles cut to the same length now. Now I'm going to lash them together. And I'm done with my little axe, so I'm going to put that back. I'm going to put my homemade sheath, which I know is terrible, but I'm going to put that back on. And then I can put this away. Well, back on my hip anyway. Now, straighten you out a little bit. As for this one is kind of high because I'm mostly sitting. As for, yeah, I got some cut pieces that I already had. Let's see if I can get a good angle for you to see this. Just gonna do a couple of little wraps and an overhand knot. I'm gonna open it a little bit because I can't fit my fingers through because my fingers are too big. And then I'm gonna do a couple, get down through, wraps and fraps, that's what this is called. I don't know if that's the actual technical term, but it's a term I've heard used a lot. Then I'm just gonna overhand it. No special knot needed. Tie it off. Now this, you would leave for the hanger pot. But I'm not going to leave that to hang my pot because I only have two legs. So, here's how I'm going to set this up. This is going to be my third leg, this rope. But instead of going down like a leg, I'm going to attach it to my fence. And then that's going to hold it up so it tips out. It'll make more sense when I get it up. Well, it'll make a lot more sense when I get it up there so you can see. Can you see that okay? Can't really see it. So it's a bipod. This will hang out over my fire pit, like so. And of course, it's semi-adjustable. And when I'm done with it, I can actually tie it back. I can just wrap this. I can just wrap this around the top to tie it back. Now the only thing I'm missing is my pot hanger, which I'm just going to tie on sticky turpentine. It's from that one of those trees that's not quite dried out. Just going to make a pot hanger from a piece of my cordage. And pull it down tight. So I got my toggle for hanging. It's still at a good height. If I needed to adjust it upwards, like if it was hanging too low to the fire, all I have to do is wrap it. I can wrap it on the tall one, I can wrap it on the short one, raise it. But that's about as low as it's going to get right there. Which is fine because my fire is usually burning up pretty good there. I do have to put my gloves on and adjust this just a little bit so it's back some more. Because I kind of want my fire pit. And I can adjust these legs. That's better. Now comes the fun part of getting my prep ready for my fire. I am going to do this maybe a little bit off camera, a little bit on camera, a little bit off. But oh, excuse me. It really sucks not having more space. You work with what you got, eh? But I am used to being in the woods where I got all kinds of space that I can spread out my stuff a bit. And I also had places that were ready to go to that I never got to because it's winter. Right now I'm just going to start doing a bunch of really fine little curls, and I'll show you my prep now when I get it ready. Now I've got most of my tinder ready. I need, this is going to be the tricky part. This is going to be the really tricky part because with this thing, it's better if you can do it on the ground. But I'm going to do it on this little piece of wood so that hopefully you can see what I'm doing with this. Now this, when you shave it, is actually a flash tinder, so it burns up really, really, really fast. I'm using the back of my blade because I don't want to ruin my actual blade. That stuff's starting to blow away already. And you're supposed to get a decent little ball of this going. I'm gonna have to probably do it into my glove. Might help it from blowing away. This is what you end up with. A little pile of magnesium shavings. Like I said, they go super fast when you light them. So it's very important to have all your stuff ready before you strike this and light it. So you're going to lose your fire really, really fast. You want to have a decent little pile of it. Now let's see if I can get this in my fire pit without losing it all. Leave it in my glove for a minute because all of my shavings are in here. So let's get this ready first. I have done this successfully before, although not out in the winter time. But if it works, it works. If not, I'll go to my backup. My backup is a lighter. Little breeze of wind is not letting up at all. Now on the packaging it says to use more than this, but I found this amount worked for me when I did it. Here's what I got. See that okay? A little pile of magnesium here, right at the end of all of my curls. So this should catch right away, then this will catch. Then I've got some little twigs to put here and my kindling. Now I just need to get a good angle for you guys to see what happens. Okay. Hopefully this works out. Not much room here to do this either. Ah. There we go. you really got to look after it at this point because it can burn out really easy. It takes a bit sometimes to get that spark to go in there, but if it was in a proper fireplace or a proper fire pit, it wouldn't be so bad. Now there's no set way that I'm doing this. Just kind of throwing them in so that there's air getting around them so that they can all burn. And now that will burn. And it's a great little tool to have, I think, in your backpack. Because hey, in my opinion, it's a great little tool to have in your backpack because you can't always rely on a lighter. Lighters get wet and they don't work. That gets wet, it'll still work. Now with this lovely little fire going, I'm going to build it up a bit and make myself a cup of tea. How's that for a plan? Now what I'm going to do, get my pot ready. Ow. Oh, a little spark down my shoe. Fishing around for a pot. This. My trusty pot. I lost my can tipper. I had to make a new one of those. I got this plastic canteen, military style, plastic military style. But hey, it holds water. Isn't that what it's for? Show you this, see? This goes in for my bale. Holds it on. And it hangs in the fire. And that's actually a really good height because I can keep feeding that fire now. And let that pot boil up. And I don't have to have the grate on. One thing I gotta mention, I'd like to give a real big huge shout out to Outlaw Camper. This guy, he reached out to me, he watched one of my videos and reached out to me, and He does a lot of the same. You guys should go check him out. He's really entertaining. He does lots of good stuff. He's got some really good videos going out, and he's just been doing a great job on them. Go check him out. Outlaw Camper. I'll put a link in my description. I'll put a link in my description, or I'll try to put a link in my description. I've never done that before. But yeah, he'd really appreciate the views. I appreciate all of the views. I appreciate all of my subscribers, and he is definitely worth the look. Definitely. So yeah, just wanted to put that in there. Thanks, Outlaw Camper. I know you've been watching my stuff. Thanks to all of my subscribers. It's nice to meet like-minded people that are doing the same thing, you know? Like, I've been in touch with him. He's in New York. I'm in Newfoundland. So there's a little bit of a gap there in where we're to. But it just goes to show that there's people out there doing this kind of thing that enjoy to do it and enjoy watching it. Like myself. And like him. So yeah, right now I need another can tipper. I don't need one, but I want to make one. I think I shoveled mine away, actually. I can see it from here, but I can't reach it. Look. Can you see it? That's my poor can tipper stick. Look at this. So it's already starting to boil. Alrighty, there's a little bit of a different view. The batteries are getting too cold. They're not working. So I just got my camera down next to the fire a little bit to keep it warm. The pot's almost boiled. Take much more. And that'll be at a rolling boil. Rolling boil. Try to keep the Newfie accent to a minimum. I know that's not easy. Not by a long shot. Tea bag. Sugar. I like sugar. Shouldn't be having as much as what I do, but I kind of like sugar. But this'll do the job. There's a bubbling boil I've been looking for. I don't have to have a rolling boil. It's not snow water or anything like that. It's water from my house, but it just makes a nicer cup of tea if it's really hot. Like that there. Well, that was a really amateur mistake. I made my cup of tea. I don't think I recorded any of it. And it looked really good on the screen too. But hey, that happens. You know, happens to the best of us. Doesn't matter how long you've been at this. You still manage to mess up here and there. At least I do, anyway. I don't know about everybody else, but I certainly do. I always manage to mess up one part of it or another. But I got my tea made. It's super hot. And I've set it in the snow to cool off just a little bit. I'm just letting this fire burn down now. There's a ton of heat coming off of it. There's one big piece of wood left in it. You can see. There. So yeah. One thing I never know if I'm doing a lot of is rambling. In my early videos, you don't hear me talking very much. But that was the cameras I was using. It's not because I wasn't talking. You haven't seen those yet. But like I said, they're going to be upcoming. A little bit of smoke. Let's see how my tea is doing. Still piping hot. Still piping hot. I can drink it though. Which is good. The sun is coming out now. It's nice. It's evening here now. It's not. It's getting close to supper time. Didn't make any supper out here today. Maybe on my next one I'll cook up something to eat. Anyway, I'd like to say thanks for watching, everybody. And have a great day. Subscribe and share. And smash that like button. It all helps. I'm just going to sit, have my tea, have my fire burn out. And that's it for this video for today.